I'm Malcolm Cox, and welcome to this week's Tuesday Teaching Tip. It's Tuesday the 15th of August 2017, and today I have an apology to make. I'm really sorry. Or am I? Well, that's what we're talking about today. The appropriateness or otherwise of making an apology while we're speaking, preaching, teaching, whatever we're doing. We're in front of a group of people, and should we apologize or not? What's the place or otherwise for an apology? Well, this came to mind because of something that happened to me this last Sunday. I was leading singing. I was leading a song, or about to lead a song called In the Kingdom. I stepped up, final song, down at Lower Early in the Thames Valley Churches of Christ. And I had a moment of insecurity. It was because I can lead that song, but it's not my favorite style and genre, and I don't think I'm the best at it. And so I said to the whole group, of course, this is really Obi's song. Now, Obi is someone who, in my opinion, leads this song better than anybody else I've seen do it. And he wasn't there that day. I think he was on holiday, and he would have led it if he'd been there, but he wasn't there, so it was up to me. And so I said, this is Obi's song, but, and I forget what else I said, but let's get on with it. I'll lead it. And even as I said it, even as those words escaped my lips, I thought, why am I saying this? How does this help the song? How does it help the congregation? I'm saying it just because I'm feeling insecure and I feel the need to say something, just in case it isn't as good as Obi would lead it. But no one else in the congregation surely is standing there thinking, oh, I wish it was Obi, not Malcolm. Perhaps they were, perhaps at the end they were, I don't know, but that's not what generally goes through people's minds. It was about me, not about God, and not about the congregation. And so we need to talk about this because you and I have probably heard inappropriate apologies. The kind of thing I'm talking about is when someone stands up and says, I'm really sorry, I should have spent more time preparing this lesson. Are they really apologizing? Are they really trying to help me? Or are they trying to make themselves feel better? An important point. We need to remember some principles, and then I have some practicals. First principle is that you are a servant. All speakers and preachers and teachers, we are servants of the people that we are speaking to. We're servants of God, and we're servants of the congregations. The people that they're spending their time sitting there listening to us, we're servants. We're there to make them feel better, not ourselves. An apology that comes out of a desire to make us feel better is not serving the people we're speaking to, and that should be reserved for some other occasion. So don't just apologize to make yourself feel better. Yes, we should be honest. No, we should not be hypocrites. But simply bearing all in front of the congregation in terms of our mistakes, or the fact we did not prepare properly, that's not necessarily helpful. That's not about being honest and about being real. That's more about making ourselves feel better. We don't need to confess everything in the moment when we're speaking to a group any more than we would in any particular conversation. The second principle, is the apology relevant or not? Is it helpful or not? I'm reminded of this passage, different context, but I think the principle applies. Ephesians 4 verse 29. Do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouths, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen. That's about conversation. But in many ways, preaching and teaching is a conversation between us and a group instead of an individual. And so therefore, again, only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, not ours, that it may benefit those who listen. This is the question we need to ask ourselves, will my apology benefit those who listen, or will it purely benefit myself? Yes, we have feelings. We're insecure, we're fearful, perhaps we feel a bit guilty because we didn't spend the time preparing or something like that. Perhaps we had a difficult wrestling, struggle with sin that particular day. Yes, we should be in touch with our feelings, but not controlled by them. It's not about faking it. We're all nervous up there. That's a given. Whether you're experienced or not, speaking is a nervous endeavor. But the apology, if we make it, must come from a place of faith. This is going to be helpful rather than fear. Some of us have a particularly sensitive conscience, or might I say, a particularly accused conscience. And if that's you, then it's important to know yourself and talk to people. A good way to moderate this is to ask people afterwards, people you feel safe with, people who are close friends, if you've made some kind of an apology in your sermon, to ask someone afterwards, was that appropriate or not? Did that come across out of my accused conscience, or was that something that was helpful? Ask a friend. That can be a good mirror for you and good feedback. So some practicals. It is occasionally appropriate to apologise. Earlier this year, or perhaps it was last year, I was preaching a passage from Deuteronomy and read the wrong chapter, or read a part of the wrong chapter. I was reading some chapter and I realised partway through, this is wrong. I apologise. I'm really sorry. This is the correct passage. That's fine. We make a mistake like that, apologise and move on. I dropped my iPad on the floor when I was preaching one time and it made a big clattering bang. I had to bend down and pick it up. I apologise. I'm sorry I dropped that. And then we move on. Those kind of things are all right. I lead singing quite a lot. More than once I've led a song starting in the wrong key, too high or too low. Occasionally it's so bad we have to stop and start again. I think that's fine to apologise. Sorry about that. Let's start again. Not a big deal, but let's move on. But a brief apology is totally fine. If you offend someone in your lesson, again, I think that's appropriate then to apologise. You make a sexist remark, you make a racist remark, you make an offensive remark of some kind, whether it was intentional or not, whether it was in your lesson notes or not, but something comes out that's not appropriate, well, yes, I think it's good to acknowledge it, apologise, and go back to the scriptures and go back to your lesson. What do we do to prepare ourselves? Well, if you're prone to inappropriate apologies, I suggest you pray about it. Pray before you get up there. Pray the morning of the lesson. And pray for God to give you wisdom about when it's appropriate to apologise and when it's just time to keep moving on because you're serving the group and not yourself. So, what do you think? What is an appropriate apology in your opinion? When have you seen it done well and when have you seen it done not so well? I would love to know. Could you leave a comment? Leave a note right here where you see or hear this recording. And leave a note here because then when others read what you've written, you can respond to that. We can all respond to each other's comments and then we can all learn. We learn best and we learn in community. Inappropriate apologies, appropriate apologies. What have you seen done that works well? Thanks so much for listening. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. And can I ask you one more favor? Pass this on to one more person. Somebody who you think might benefit from it. Somebody who speaks, preaches, teaches publicly, who could use this information, or at least even the comments and that come in from other people so that we can all learn. Thanks so much. Until the next time, I hope you have a terrific Tuesday and a wonderful week. God bless.